So, morning, cheers. Welcome to episode 21, I think it is. I've been painting each night, sort of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Didn't do any last night, about an hour at a time. Painting suspension components. We'll walk down that way, excuse the shadows. So yeah, these have had now 2 coats of the epoxy mastic black. Spring mounts for the rear axle. Those are the seatbelt fixings, an exhaust hanger, the airframe ball joint thingy. What else? Rear trailing arms, the top fuel mount strap has just had 1 coat, that needs another coat. Things are hanging all over. Bouge top mount, that's had 2, and then airframe link arms, they've had 2 coats now. So bonnet's up. Bonnet's up. Why's the bonnet up? We'll come back to that in a bit. Going to do some more sandblasting in a bit. We're going to wire brush and then sandblast some bits because it's too cold to paint at the minute. Need it above 3 degrees inside. The metal's still cold. That's my coffee gone. So that's the Discovery rear floor panel. That's a standard Discovery rear floor panel. So on a Range Rover Classic, it's different. It's longer. This section's longer. It's just different. So you can buy that as a kit for a Range Rover, and it comes with the piece that I was using, which is down here. I'll show you, to gauge my distance when I was putting my side pieces in and my Z pieces and everything. So that's that piece. So you're supposed to sort of fillet that in, but I've done it before and it just ends up a mess. Anyway, I decided to buy a reproduction part from Machinor. Now, here it is, it's arrived. Turn the light round. There you go. So that's it tried in. Don't quite fit. The reason it don't quite fit is not because of Machinor's panel pressing, because it's bang on. It's because of me. So if you look, there's a black line, and that edge on my Z piece that it fits into isn't straight. So I've measured the old pieces from here, where the floor sits, to the outside there, cross member, that piece, 32 centimetres, which is why I've written 32 there. I don't know if you can see, I've got too much light on it probably. 32 there. I've got it at 33, so I need to take a centimetre out and then it'll fit. It's a little bit warped, but it's not as warped as that other one. There we go. It's got this piece here. I just want to see the back camera so that I can see. It's got that piece that always rots out. And it just would have been a nightmare. And I also think that you have to add the piece in the middle, because otherwise the fuel hole is in the middle. That piece there is flat and bigger on this one than on the Discovery one. But what it doesn't come with is the little attachments. So I've just rescued these this morning. So that's a cable clip fixing, like a connector. One of those had rotted out, so I've got to reproduce one of those. 2 wiring clips, which will be for this side, for the wiring harness. And then the little studs that the trim carpet plastic tabs screw down onto. So I've got all them out. So we'll sandblast these, we'll clean them up. I'll reproduce one of them, we'll weld them underneath, then it'll be ready to go. I'll correct this. I'm going to get another coat of paint on, and then we can start feeding things back through. So I'll put those back on. They, I think, need to be right up that end. I can't remember, I'll have to look at my pictures. But yeah, I can start sort of putting some stuff back together. Well, I'm going to pause, I'm going to take this out, we'll show you underneath. So actually, before I show you underneath, at this end, without adjusting it, if I do that, it fits in. This side, the passenger side, is bang on straight. It's that side, the driver's side, that's where the issue is. So then if it goes in down here, it doesn't go in up there. So it needs to sort of go that way a bit, and then it doesn't just fit in there, it's just a little bit out. So we've got it in there, 10 kilo weight on this end, there. See, it doesn't quite line up neatly along that edge, but it sits on the lip, so that's okay. We'll go around that side, and you can see it's off here. Big gap there, big gap there, right? So that must be bored that way on my Z piece. You can see we're out there, that's where that black line is. But we're in at that end. So the question is, how do I fix it? So it fits better. I think what I do need to do is cut this piece, cut and trim that. But then I'm just wondering if that edge is not quite right, because this channel on this side now is, it's like 25 millimeters. This side 26. So is this side just slightly off on the fold? So do I just need to bash that over a millimeter more to give me a millimeter more play? There we've got my new underbody supports in that have had one coat of epoxy primer ages ago, so they need roughing up before they get the final coat. I've kept the old ones because I just want to try them in. I did do a metal run to the tip this morning, and I've got rid of all the metal bits that I've been keeping that were scattered around, so I've got a lot more space. I've generally tied it up, but let's just get a straight edge. So looking at this edge isn't quite straight, it's rocking in the middle there. You might not be able to see because the light's rubbish. See, this side it's the opposite way, it's way out the other way. But what I'm going to do is straighten that one up like that, so that that's nice and straight. I'm going to correct that piece. I'll probably leave that side as it is, and then this hopefully will give me enough leeway to fudge a little bit. I need to do some measuring, don't I, and just check. 105, so 1 metre and 5 millimetres at that end. 1 metre 5. Yeah, 1 metre and 1. I'm just going to make that edge straight, and that's because I tested in with that smaller section all the way up now. I've probably got paint on my face somewhere, but it's now 20 past 3. Put my second coat of the black paint on that bit of chassis. Same in there, the bits that need another coat, like the cross member that the bow strut mounts to. Same spring mount area that side, and I've done the first coat on the axle as well. Just about run out of paint, so that'll leave to dry till tomorrow. Then that'll have another coat when it's dry, and then that'll be ready to start reassembling. I'm not taking the diff off, the diff's okay, but then I can do the discs and stuff, and then the axle can go back in. Yeah, not sure where to cut that. I'll have to have a think. I might even just cut the whole lip out on this side and put a new Z piece back in. Not sure. Floor supports are back out. They need sort of roughing off, and then another coat as well, but I've run out of paint. And I'm going to probably spray them so that I can get underneath the sections. Right, see you in a bit. I know what else I've done. I've sandblasted like bolts and the little bits. That's one of the bolts, as is the other one here, that hold the ball joint in. And then these ones are exhaust. No, they're not. These ones are fuel tank clamp top bolts. Fasten it to the chassis. And then these are the bits that have got wheel through primer to go onto the floor. As of those, as of that. This is the one that I need to use that as a pattern and make another one. Not now though. Need to wash my car, I think, if I can be bothered. Don't know that I can be bothered. Might do it tomorrow. Right, time to go in. See you tomorrow. So good morning, Saturday morning. It's just gone 10 past 10. It's still cold outside. Just putting some nitrile gloves on. These are. Just been doing a few little bits and pieces because it's too cold to paint still. Put the bolts in the ball joint there. That sort of locate. They don't hold it in because it's pressed in, isn't it? It took 11 tons to get it out. Taken the ball joint out for the bush strut on the top mount and the bottom link. Done that. I'm going to put the new ball joints in. I've been messing around with airline stuff. That's a different story. So my new made in China all makes ball joints. Just open one, taking it out of the packet, straight out of the packet. Okay, unscrew the top, which you don't want to unscrew now because it's turning. Hang on. Take the bottom cup off, totally dry, no grease, dry as a bone. Take that off, take the ball joint out. Look, no grease, none, zilch, zero. So luckily I've got some CV grease. I'm going to put that in because that's what it should have. So anyway, if you get these, just check them. There's nothing in them at all. Ridiculous, isn't it? Let's open the other one live and let's just see. Right, make sure it's just not one faulty one. I dropped my scalpel somewhere yesterday for opening stuff. So I'm hoping I can see it. This is on camera because I can't see. My front screen's gone off. So, out of the box, out of the packet. Let's take the cup off the bottom. Yeah, bone dry, no grease. Right, so we'll get them greased up. I've got some CV joint grease here, so I'll just put that in. That'll do the job. We'll do that for them both. We'll put them in. That'll do it. Right. Ridiculous, isn't it? So let's do this one. So we'll get a load of that. Big dollop. And we'll go like that. There's a bit of paper towel in there still. I think I'm just going to wire brush them in there. Just hang on. Wire brush. I've already cleaned them out with brake cleaner. That's it. Right, so we'll get that in there. Bit more. Put the wire brush down. Plastic cup in the bottom. Right, I'm going to put that down again. Then we'll get the ball joint. Just have to disassemble it again. There's no gaiters on these at all. Got a dollop of grease. And a load in here in the plastic cup. That in there, that on there. Just before I do, put a bit in there, screw it down, and then I'll do the same on the other one. Like I say, there's no gaiters on these. It's just the Bosch strut gaiter. There is a part number for a rubber gaiter, rubber seal that goes over there. It's obsolete, you can't get it, and there wasn't one on anyway. And I just need to nip that down. But we'll put that back on. Right, we just need to nip that down. So use that on this one. Again, I'll probably just wire brush that out first. Right, this one needs cleaning out a bit. Alright, got that one together now. Just tighten that down. Then we've got to clean out the tapped holes. That needs tightening down. That one's too tight. Why is that too tight? And it's not seated. Maybe I've got too much grease in. That's better. It's gone down now. Yeah, I got too much grease in it. That's what the matter with that one was. I might take that one apart and just take a little bit of grease off the bottom of the cup. too much grease in there. What about that one? Well, let's nip that one down first and check. Ooh. No, let's do this first. Well, that's seated down there, okay. Got to be careful here because I'm doing this on top of the battery. But I'm way off the terminals. That's better. I've got too much grease in it. Right, nip them down, dust covers on, job's done. Right, I'll just swap out take that glove off, spanner, big adjustable. This is a Minotaur, goes up to 50mm wide, so it'll do these, see. They don't need to be fiendishly tight because they ain't going to come undone. Dust cover on, wipe round a bit, and that is ready to go on. Just got to repeat on the others, haven't I? Some new bolts for it. Let's have a look at this one then. What's this one feel like? Take the dust cover off. That's okay. So nip that one down as well. That's it. Done. Let's just check, see what that still feels like. Yeah, it's okay. Done. Right. Next. That's ready to go on. That can sit there. Next. While it's still cold, this is why we've got the engine. The bonnet up is down here. So I want to disconnect the fuel lines because I've got to remake the fuel lines. So here we've got back of the fuel pump. That's the spill return to the tank. Standard Jubilee clip there. And then that is hose clip and rubber hose in this convoluted piping. It goes in this stuff here, it goes down. And then that's the other one coming up to the fuel lift pump there. So I need to disconnect that union and get the fuel lines out. But the problem is that it goes rubber all the way down, a long way down. Now if I get a screwdriver, I'll point to where it comes to. I've got a pen, this will do. Right, so I don't know whether you can make it out, but there's two, because it's underneath this air conditioning pipe here. But that's where one crimp is. Can you see the tip of my pen? Then that's the fuel line there. That's the other fuel line coming up, and then this is the other crimp just there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the rubbers, and then I'll join with proper fuel hose connectors, and then these can just go back on as standard. And then I'll have conifer pipe up to there. That's the plan. I need to do that before that flow goes in. So yeah, that's the next job, is to get that off, but it's just a bit of a pain to get to. I might have to move some stuff out of the way to get to it. Right, let's do that. So just had lunch, come back out. I gave up with this down in the engine because I can't actually get the fuel pipes out underneath the body because the body's too low. If I put the light on, I'll show you. You'll see what I mean. So, right, so we've got new pipes in there, so that's all okay. That's 6.25 or something like that internal conifer pipe. Is it 5/16? I can't remember. Anyway, it's the bigger stuff. It's fuel pipe size. I've got a loop of, I don't know if you can see that, a loop of rubber hose. That's fuel hose, correct fuel hose, with just a couple of clamps there so it's not dripping fuel on the floor. Obviously no fuel filter, no fuel sedimenter on this because it was a V8. And then, knocking stuff over, and then under here, if I come down, so they're just joined up there, proper fuel hose onto the original fuel pipe, proper fuel clamps, and then put back in the clips. But that's the problem up there. I just couldn't get that out. That's too close. I'd have had to undo all the body mounts and lift the body up, which I'm not doing. So it would have been a pain, that, and I'd have had to undo these seatbelt fixings, everything. So it just would have been really difficult. So I've done that for now. This section forward is actually okay. So it'll pass an MOT like that, because that's how it was anyway. But I've just done it better with proper fuel hose and new pipe, where it was all corroded underneath the rear floor section. So now I'm going to drop the bonnet, put the bonnet down. Just going to clean up those that I've cut off. The quarter BSP, it's just pipe thread. I'll see how they clean up. I might change that. We'll see, because it's a 300 TDI. Fuel pressure's not that high, so right. So yeah, down here I took the fuel filter off. I undid that clamp, still couldn't do it, so moving on, other stuff. I'm going to paint in a bit. I'm going to get ready to paint. Right, see you later. So I've just sandblasted these and they've come up nicely. They've come up well. So, coat a zinc primer on them. Well, not zinc primer, just zinc paint. A couple of coats of that, and then they'll be good. I've got a cable tie around that one to tell me which one it is, but it doesn't matter because they're the same, apart from me cutting them at slightly different lengths. So yeah, I can reuse them. They're alright. Next job, painting, I think. So it's 4 PM now, Saturday afternoon. Packing in for today. The axle has had a second coat of the black epoxy mastic. There's the fuel lines in. So they're in. Got to tap out the top holes for the board strut tomorrow. What else have we done? We've done first coat on the anti-roll bar, that's the rear anti-roll bar. Second coat on the top clamp for the fuel tank. Then I dropped one of the airframe arms, so I've touched that up where that chipped. The floor supports have had a second coat. These have had 2 coats of zinc rich paint. I think that's about it really, quite a bit to do. So tomorrow we'll get that done. The clip, we'll tap out those holes, do a few little bits and pieces tomorrow, but not much tomorrow, I don't think. So yeah, that's it for this episode. See you in episode 21. So please do give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and give us a comment, because it'll all help. Thank you. Bye.